I think I might be live right now. I haven't done a live on YouTube in, gosh, I can't even remember the last time. So hopefully I can see the chats here. I'm just looking through a few things. So if you're here, please let me know that you're here so I know if I can see the chat. Because if I can't, that's going to be a problem. I see. Hi, Mary. Awesome. Okay. Oh, I feel better. I was a little nervous. I haven't done this in so long, and I just was really afraid it might not work very well. Hey, oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to be talking to you all. I have been asked to go live so many times, and one thing or another, and it's just hasn't worked out, but I really love being able to chat with you guys and find out what it is you're looking to learn and answer questions. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you. Hi, Jan. So how much snow do you guys have? We have so much. Hi, Susan. Hi, Chris. It's kind of scrolling really fast right now. So if I miss saying hi to somebody, please don't be offended. And also, some of you guys use not your real name. And whenever I learn what your name is, I put it in my notes app on my phone so I can put a name to your handle. And I don't have that in front of me, so I can't see it. Hi, Deborah. Oh, thank you, Andy. It's been a long day. I'm so happy that you guys took time. Really? 0? Oh my gosh, we have so much snow. It's actually snowing lightly right now, but I don't remember in my adult life having this much snow on the ground at this point in March. Hey, you guys. All right, well, I want to be sensitive to your time. I know people are going to just be hopping on, and I'll make sure that this is posted after so people can watch the live. No snow for you either, Susan? You're lucky. We are so ready to be done. I just need to be able to spend some time outside. I'd love to come see you, Kelly, and spend some time in the warmth. That sounds perfect. Is that rare for you, Miss Kitty? Snow in Arizona? Wow. Oh gosh, did I miss your email maybe? If you sent me an email and I didn't respond, please send it again. It's so fun to see where everybody's from. Well, let's see, what time is it right now? 7:30 on the nose. Yes, please send the email again, because I might have missed it, or I mean, it just, there was a period of time when I wasn't checking my email regularly after my dad passed away, and I may have seen it and then meant to get back to it. I really do try to answer every single email that I get. Sometimes I can't answer every comment, but if you reach out to me directly, either in an email or a direct message on Instagram or Facebook, I really do try to get to all of those. Comments can get to be a little hard, but Washington, Ohio, wow. Linda, oh my gosh, I have thought about you so much. Please text me and let's talk. You've been in my prayers. I actually, every day this week, I've thought, oh, I've got to reach out to Linda and see how everything is going. Yep. So tired of the snow. It's awful. Well, you guys, I want to be really sensitive to everybody's time. I appreciate you being here today. I have a couple of things I want to tell you guys, and then if there's any questions I can answer, or I have a piece of paper here and I can write notes down. So if there's videos you want to see, if there's things that you're just really struggling with, I really want to try to do my best to help you. And that helps me to segue into my biggest announcement that I have to make. And some of you are already aware of this because I have talked about it a little bit on Instagram and Facebook. I just haven't made an official announcement here on YouTube. And I know that some of you are not on those other platforms. And so I try to make sure I bring everything to all of the platforms. Hi, Liz. Hey, Colleen. So good to see you. Colleen has been super helpful as I'm learning how to work with human hair wigs. She's given me some great tips. Pennsylvania, do you guys get much snow where you are in Pennsylvania? I know for us, I mean, everybody thinks Minnesota is super snowy, and it's really kind of hit or miss. I mean, we definitely have snow, but there's lots of times when we just don't have that much snow. I know there've been movie productions actually that have come to Minnesota to film because of the snow, and then it happens to be a winter that we hardly have any snow, and then they have to make it. I've heard of that happening multiple times. All right, so let me tell you my big announcement, and hopefully this will be something that will help a lot of you who are really struggling. So for a long time, I have been asked if I would do any consultations because, you know, it's hard to get the help you need with back and forth messages or emails. Oh my gosh, Australia, thank you for being here. That is so awesome. Melbourne, Australia. Anyway, and so I have started to do video chats or phone chats. And what makes it different, what I'm doing is a little different from a few other people out there that do consultations, is right as of now, I don't charge for the time. I do give you an option to donate if you found value, to donate whatever you can afford to sort of help my wig ministry, as I call it. But I want it to be accessible to everyone. I don't want someone to not get the help that they need because of their financial situation. So I will make sure I put in the description of this video, after I'm done, a link to my calendar. I use an app called Calendly, and so you can book time with me whenever works for you on my calendar, and I will do a video chat. That's actually the most helpful way to do it. But for people who don't want to do a video chat, there is an option just to do a phone call. And they're 45 minutes long, and I'll tell you guys, they always go over 45 minutes. And so I usually leave a good cushion for that to happen. But I want to be able to help in whatever way you need help. And since I'm only one person, it can be really hard to get back to all the messages. I really do my best. But, you know, sometimes I get questions, and I have a lot more questions. I get a common question I get a lot is, you know, I'm looking for a chin length bob. Can you recommend one? And there's just so many questions I have, you know, what type of hair fibers, what is your cap size, all of those things. And so I want to give you guys an option to get that help without having all of the back and forth messages and having to wait. So there will be a link to my calendar. You'll have to come back to this video after it's done, probably tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll get it all updated today, for the link to my calendar. I do actually have it in my link in bio, which I have linked in my Instagram profile. So if you're on Instagram and you follow me there, you can find my calendar there. But for those of you who aren't, I will make sure it's in this video. And you can always email me if you want to ask for the link. My email is heywigsister@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email and I'm happy to send you a link to my calendar, and then you can find a time that will work for you. And then hopefully I can help you, whatever it is you're looking for. So that's kind of the biggest announcement. And so some of you know I was going to go live at the end of November, I think it was, just before. So my dad went into the hospital on Thanksgiving, and he ended up passing away on December 14th. So that's part of why I just fell so far behind on getting back to people, and why this live is what now 4 months later almost. But anyway, so I hope that will be a blessing to whoever needs that extra help. I know a lot of people do need, it's so hard. The wig journey is so hard in the beginning. You know, I think it's a little bit misleading. All right, Janet, please schedule time. I'm really, really available. I make sure that my calendar, you know, I leave room for the rest of my life. So, you know, it's not wide open, but I try to give some daytime hours, some evening hours, and some Saturday hours. Sometimes right now we're going to my dad's every weekend to work on his house. It's a real mess. My mom was a pack rat. She died in 2008. We cleaned out some of the stuff, but not much. And my dad never wanted us to come help. And then he became a pack rat. So it's 53 years of stuff. So we're trying to get through it. So sometimes I don't have appointments available on the weekend if it's a really busy weekend with that, but I do try to leave some available on Saturdays. But anyway, I was just saying, I know the wig journey is so hard, and you watch these videos and you think, this is never going to work for me. I can't believe all of these reviewers have such an easy time and they look so good in wigs. But I want you guys to know it did not start that way for me. I have seen some wig wearers talk about how they got their first wig and everything changed for them. It was months of struggle and tears. It was not easy for me. And so don't feel bad if it's not easy for you. It really isn't easy for most people in the beginning, but you can get there. And if I can help you, I would be honored to do so. What kind of a storm, Sherry? Is it like a tornado type storm, a severe storm, or are you talking you're getting more snow down there? The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that, you know, up until probably October, I was doing a giveaway every single month, and I haven't done a giveaway since my dad got sick. And so I am going to start doing monthly giveaways on my channel again with wigs. And I am in the process of trying to find someone who can help me with my website, because I would like to start a donation page on my website where people who need a wig but can't afford one can get one. And it's not an easy thing to do. I'm trying to figure out how to do it so it doesn't take all my time, because it's not as simple as just send someone a wig. You have to understand what they're looking for, what is their head size, you know, what will work for them. And so I'm in the process of trying to figure that out. And I do need help with my website. I am not techie and I need more functionality on my website. So if any of you guys are like very experienced with website building, let me know. And I'm open to using a different platform. I use GoDaddy right now because it was the easiest one for me to navigate, but I'd like to do more on my website to help. So but I need help with that. So I'm looking for someone right now. I just saw a question and I go by. Let me see if I can get back to the comments. The comments pop up sometimes and then they go away and I can't find them. Someone just asked me a question and I don't know where that comment went. Why can't I see the comments? Okay, they came back. Kelly, you asked if I've ever thought about a makeup tutorial. Okay, I get asked this every day. I mean, many times a day at this point, and I've been dragging my feet because for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm lucky that my makeup looks good most days. I really don't know a lot about what I'm doing. And then other reason is a lot of my makeup is just old. I could show you guys what I do, but I don't always have like current makeup to refer you to. And so, but I am thinking about trying to do a quick little makeup video just because I get asked so much, just the things that work for me and the things that I've learned to do and not to do with my, 51-year-old skin. I'm very lucky. I've got good skin, but I've got these wrinkles right here and I'm finding that not all foundation works great with aging skin. So I'll think about that a little bit and I'll maybe try to put something together for you. But that brings me up another question. Oh, what am I wearing tonight? So this is a human hair wig by Deborah's Enchanted. I actually did a review of her pieces, a couple of her pieces a few weeks ago, and I decided to buy a piece from her, not one that I reviewed. So she carries wavy pieces. And I've wanted a wavy wig for so long, and they're hard to find, and they're often not in stock. And she had a big sale. She just celebrated 3 years of wig selling. And so she had a big sale and had 30% off all her wigs. So I purchased this one. It's not looking super wavy right now because I've been playing with it. I've been wearing it, but this is a wavy piece. And I actually filmed a video today that I hope to have out sometime in the next week or so, talking about the challenges with human hair wig purchases. I'm gonna have a lot more human hair wig content on my channel. I'm still gonna do, thank you for the compliment. I don't know, reprove, rebuke, and exhort evangelism. I don't know your name, so, but I just put a video together. I'm gonna keep doing synthetic content. And I'm going to keep doing budget friendly. I'm going to review whatever I can get my hands on, but I would like a little bit more human hair content. And I feel like I've got enough experience now to at least start talking about it. And one of the challenges with human hair is finding the type of cap, the type of parting space, the type of density that's going to work for you. And it's a lot harder to find that in human hair because there just aren't reviews. I mean, you know, with at least with synthetic wigs, most of the time you can find a review, and hopefully if the reviewer is good, they talk about things like density and permatease and poof and fit and all of that, but you just don't find that with human hair. So a lot of it is trial and error. But I'm going to start doing some videos, hopefully helping you guys with some of that, at least understanding what you need to know so that you don't have to waste a lot of money on purchases. So those were my big announcements. Henry, oh yes. How do you like that, Henry Margoo, Patty? Sherry, thank you so much. Oh, you know what? I think a lot of people will talk about how wigs don't look good on them. And I think some of that is just we're not used to it, because I didn't think wigs look good on me in the beginning either. And I mean, you guys have no idea how many tears I cried, how many hundreds of hours of YouTube videos I watched. My husband thought I lost my mind. That is all I did when I wasn't, you know, taking care of my kids and going to work. Every night I'd be in bed just watching video after video. And I was absolutely obsessed by it. And I was so upset when wigs would not look as good on me as they looked on the reviewers I was watching. And I just didn't understand it. I even remember asking a question in a Facebook group because how a wig looked on me in a selfie was completely different than how it looked on me in the mirror. And I would ask people, which is the truth? Like, which image can I trust, the mirror or the selfie? And I think I've learned over time, now wigs don't look as bad in the mirror. And so I think a lot of it is training your brain. I really do believe our brains lie to us when it comes to how we look in wigs, in a lot of things. I just think we have this image in our heads, and when we don't see that matched in the mirror, we want to give up. But I don't. Hi, Pam. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you, Deborah. And I just think that trust the process is all I can really say. Work hard to desensitize yourself to what it looks like. Wear your wigs a lot. Look in the mirror a lot. Take selfies. And just, you know, and you have to share those selfies with anyone. You don't even have to be good at it. Janet, I'll work on it. I definitely want to do more of that. I do have to do a video on maybe washing a human hair wig too. I've done some practicing, so but I don't know if that helps or not, but if you're struggling right now, that is the best advice I can give you. I'm reading comments too while I'm talking, so well, I'm so glad that that new wig wearer series helped you. If you're new here and you haven't seen my new wig wearer series, please let me know. Send me an email, or if you're connected to me on a social media, Instagram or Facebook, message me and I'll send you a link to the whole series. It's 8 episodes long, and it's meant to walk you through step by step of what you need to know in the beginning of the wig wearing process. There's so much to know, and it's seriously overwhelming. And so what I try to do is break it into bite-sized pieces and start with the very first thing I thought you needed to know. I called it Wigs 101, and I just break down the different cap types, the different fiber types. Oh, Vicki, thank you so much. That was so nice of you. And so please don't hesitate to message me if you want a link to that new wig wearer series. You could also search Denise Sheets new wig wearer, and you will at least get one of the videos in that series in that search, and then just go into that video, and I've linked the whole series in that video. So you could go to the playlist, and then you could start from the very first video. Margot, I hope so, and I will do whatever I can to keep helping. Like I said, and for those of you who may have missed my first announcement or just joining, I am doing some consultations, either video or phone. I am not charging for those. I am asking if you are able to make a donation and you felt value from the time I spent with you, you could donate whatever you feel is you can afford and whatever you think the time was worth. Oh, Sherry, thank you so much. But I want that to be accessible to everyone. I don't want anyone to not get the help they need because they can't afford to pay for it. So I'm here to help. And I am only one person, so please, understand that I don't have unlimited time. This isn't my job. This is my passion and my hobby. But well, sometimes when the wig feels like a big bubble in the back of your head, part of it is just not being used to having it on your head. So let me tell you, when I first started wearing wigs, I felt like my wigs were going to slingshot off my head, like right up the back and just slingshot right off of my head. Every wig I tried on, I felt that. And I don't feel that at all anymore. And I think it's because I'm used to it now. So for some people, you have a flat occipital bone. So the back of your head is super flat, and that makes it wigs for hard to stay. I actually have a blog post on my website where I list ideas that you can try to mitigate the flat back of your head. I reached out to all of my community and I asked for ideas from women who deal with this. And I put them in a blog post. I can send you a link if you message me. I might not see it in the comments here, so you'll need to send me an email or have to message me on Instagram or Facebook. Again, heywigsister@gmail.com is my email. And I can send you a link to that post. Sometimes though, it really isn't that you have a flat back of the head. It's just that you're not used to wearing a wig. And so it does take time to get used to it. So it's hard to know exactly what's going on. But again, I'm happy to do a video chat with you and we can talk about it. It's so many factors. Does the wig fit you well? There's just a lot of that. Yep, Diane, that's exactly right. It goes away with time. For some people, it takes longer than others. Oh, Patty, thank you so much. Hi, Cheryl. You didn't miss much. We've just sort of been chatting. I did make an announcement that I am doing consultations now, and I'm not charging. You can make a donation if you feel that there was value and you can afford it, but I am available to help. Again, I will put the link to my calendar so you can set up a time with me in the description of this once it's posted, or you can email me and I'll send you a link. My hope is if I can find someone to help me with, hey, Dorinda, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Hi, Sandy. My hope is that if I can find someone to help me with my website, I can actually put a consultation button on my website and then people can schedule right from there. That's why I need help. I just don't know how to do these kinds of things. I couldn't even figure out how to turn on a search on my website, and I had to create an index and list every single one of my posts because I couldn't figure out how to do that. So I really do need help with that. I missed that last comment. Let me see if I can get back to it. Yes, Pam, that is something that a lot of people do. They will put a ponytail wig on, a little ponytail on the back, and then their wig can kind of rest on that. So that is a really good idea. And that's one of the ideas in that blog post that I just mentioned. Oh my gosh, my friend, thank you so much for the donation. You guys are so awesome. I did have a couple of questions that people asked. So if you have questions, put them here and I'll try to answer them, because that's the other reason why, besides the announcements, I wanted to answer a few questions if I could. So one question that I got on Facebook was about having a sensitive scalp and toppers. Hi Sky, thank you so much. I am going to do some videos on toppers probably starting next month. I did have a few people donate toppers to me so that I could do some content. I don't have hair for toppers, but I can give you guys some tips and some things that I've learned and what I've learned from others as well. So if you are in the position, I use GoDaddy stuff, and I'm really open to not using GoDaddy anymore if there's a better website. But I started off with Squarespace and I could not figure out how to do anything on it. So then I switched to GoDaddy. It works for what I'm doing today, but it doesn't really work for if I want to expand. Oh, Diana, thank you. Guys, you're making me feel so good. Thank you so much. So yeah, Steph, reach out to me, heywigsister@gmail.com. That's my email, and you can reach out to me and we can chat. Yay, Christina, I'm so glad you made it. Hi, Elaine, when did you send it? Was it a while ago? Or did you just send it? Because if you sent it a while ago, please resend it, because then I didn't see it. I'm pretty caught up on my emails from today. So if you haven't heard from me, you need to resend it. But Okay, then I'll look at it afterwards and I'll answer you. And I did post a bunch of wigs for sale today. If you don't get emails when I post on my website, go check out my website. That's just heywigsister.com. And I posted some wigs. I have a whole bunch of wigs I need to sell, and I really need to just get through them and post them. I always post them for at least 50% off retail, often a lot more than that, especially if they're super expensive wigs like the Envy hair wigs. I almost always list those for 60% off. And so I really try to do my best to make it a really good deal so that people can get a piece maybe they've been eyeing. But I don't sell wigs. I just sell ones that I've reviewed or ones that I own. So I'm not, don't reach out to me and ask if I have a certain wig. I'm not a wig seller, but I'm just trying to read some of these comments. Oh, Kelly, I appreciate that so much. Kelly, I've heard that from lots of people. YouTube is so inconsistent with notifications. It's I don't know what's up with it. Sometimes people will like unsubscribe and then resubscribe right away and turn on notifications, and that sometimes fixes it. So think about that. Maybe trying that. I don't know what else to tell you though. I mean, I subscribe to some people too, and there'll be times I'm like, I haven't seen a notification from this person. Yes, you guys. Okay, so let's talk quickly about Envy hair fibers because I've done a lot of reviews for Envy lately. I've worked with their CEO, Alan Eaton, to get some reviews out of the Envy hair wigs. And I'm so excited because they're so expensive, and it's super important that you guys see reviews before you buy something that expensive. And I will tell you, I am a huge fan of those Envy hair wigs. I have Zoe, and I've done some updates on Zoe, and I actually should probably do another update. That wig is wearing better than some of my human hair. It is, I don't know how they did it with the combination of the 70% heat-friendly synthetic and the 30% human hair, but it is so incredible. What the benefit, in my opinion, of those fibers is you get the best of human hair. So you get the softness and all of that, and you get the best of heat-friendly synthetic, which is the style stability. You don't get frizz. So for example, this human hair wig right here, it's getting all, because it's wavy, that's part of it, but it's starting to get a little bit frizzy. And so I'm either going to have to take some water to it and scrunch it up to bring the curls back, or I'm going to have to take heat to it to smooth it out. That is very common with human hair. It reacts just like our bio hair, but those Envy hair fibers do not. If you have a straight piece, which is the one I have the most experience with, is a straight one, then it just stays perfectly sleek and beautiful all the time, and it doesn't matter about the weather. So if you're thinking about an Envy hair wig, I'm happy to talk to you about my own experience with them, if that'll help. I know it's a big purchase, and some of them, if they're a fully hand-tied cap, rival some human hair. But I almost like my Envy hair Zoe better than some of my human hair. It just feels just like them, but it's more behaved if that works to explain it. They're really great. So anyway, I started to talk about toppers and sensitive scalp. And so I will be doing some videos on toppers just to help with some of the things to think about. I'm not going to be able to start reviewing toppers because I just don't have the hair for it, but I do have some toppers to do some demonstrating. So hopefully that will help. I am wearing human hair, Suzanne. This is a wig by Deborah's Enchanted. It is a wavy piece. I purchased it from her. So I reviewed for Deborah a few weeks ago. She reached out to me and asked if I'd be willing to maybe take a look at a few of her pieces and review them. And so I did. And then she had a big sale, and I really wanted a wavy piece. So I took advantage of the sale and I purchased this. And I do use this wig I just filmed a video today that should be out next week. And I show 4 or 5 different human hair wigs. And I talk about the different cap types, all the things that you should be starting to think about if you're looking at human hair, different cap types, whether it's a silk top or a lace top on the parting space, which is a big deal. Whether or not every vendor does different things. Does the vendor pre-pluck the hairline or not? Deborah doesn't pre-pluck her hairlines. And I don't really like that, actually. I like my hairline plucked. I think it looks more natural. So I have a couple of pieces from Deborah now, And I struggle a little bit with them because they're so thick in the front and I have to pluck them a little bit. So I talk about all of that in that video. It'll be out sometime next week. So if you want to learn some things about human hair, I'm hoping that that will at least help you start to think about the things you need to look at and ask. And then one other question I got was how to travel with wigs. I do have on my to-do list to do a video talking about traveling with wigs. I actually was supposed to be getting a travel suitcase for wigs, and I don't know what happened. I heard about it from a wig sister who has one. So I reached out to the company and asked if they would like to work with me on a review. They said they sent it to me, but I never got it. And now they're not responding to me. So I'm not sure what's happening with that. So I'm probably going to have to do the video without that. But Miss Kitty, I can't help you if there's problems with YouTube. I am not techie about it. I don't know if you can't scroll why it wouldn't. Sometimes though, there's an option to choose whether you want to just view the top chat or the live chat. Take a look at that. Somewhere in there, my screen is going to be different than yours because I'm on my phone and I'm the one doing it. But you should have options to see like top chat, live chat, some other options. Make sure you're choosing the live chat and then you should be able to see all the messages. Pam, I just saw your message. How do I decide which MV hair wig to get? Yeah. Well, I mean, reviews. And so you have to think about what it is that's super important to you. Are you looking for straight or are you looking for wavy? What length are you looking for? What kind of cap construction are you looking for? I've reviewed quite a few of them. So if you have any questions about any specific ones, if I have experience with it, I'm happy to help. You can reach out to me and ask. But the reason I love the Zoe wig I have is because it's fully hand tied. It is so natural, but it's also very expensive because it's fully hand tied. But I mean, I can wear it in ponytails. I wore it to work out one day. It's just so versatile. And so that's the other thing. You might be thinking how to justify spending that kind of money. But, think about how you wear your wigs and what your challenges are. And would that be one that you could just wear all the time and you wouldn't have to have as many? I mean, that is possible as well. Oh, Alicia, thank you so much. Oh, you're such a wonderful friend. On the MV hair wigs, I have used synthetic products when I've washed my Zoe because it is 70% heat-friendly synthetic and only 30% human hair. I've only washed it twice, I think, and it's done just fine. So I don't think there's a problem. That's a really good question. Let me take that away and let me just double check. I'm going to ask some people that I know wear those wigs. And I'm also going to ask Envy. I'll ask Alan Eaton about that. I'm just writing it down right now. So I've used synthetic because it just seemed to make a little bit more sense to me, given that it's mostly heat-friendly synthetic, and it doesn't seem to be any worse for it. It's not getting dry or anything. I love the color British Milk Tea. It is one of my favorite colors. It's so beautiful. Yay, Nanette. I'm so happy to hear that. That is awesome. One of my biggest fears when I do videos and I recommend wigs is that people won't like them. And I would hate to do that to someone, but we really are so different. I can only tell you what I see and what, my impression is, my experience is, and kind of give you the facts. And I usually give you guys my opinion as well, but we're so different, and what I love, you might not love. So it's tough. Whenever somebody buys based on my recommendation, I'm always sort of holding my breath that it's a good experience. I don't want to mislead you guys, and I don't want you guys to ever spend money on something that isn't going to work. Oh my gosh, Nanette, that is awesome. The other thing that I always try to do is, especially with really expensive products, is, I try to figure out if there's a good return policy. And so whenever I do reviews of products other than wigs, one of my deciding factors is if it has a good return policy. I actually have a video, I think that's coming out Saturday for face, oh oh my gosh, I'm losing my words. An anti-aging tool for your face that I've been testing out for 6 months. And they have a 60-day money-back guarantee because it's pretty expensive. And that was the only reason why I agreed to even review it, was because I knew people could try it and return it if they didn't like it, because I would hate for somebody to buy it and hate it and then be out all the money. I take you guys' trust super seriously. I really do. And I think about it all the time. Am I doing the right thing? Am I giving you guys the right information? And so it's just a big deal to me. I love that, Melanie. Melanie, is it a synthetic topper or human hair? Kelly, I do still love Girl Mono. Actually, I haven't worn my Girl Mono in a while because mine, the one I wear all the time, is getting really old. But I have the one that I reviewed in Ivory Blonde Shaded, I think. The blonde that I reviewed about 3 or 4 months ago. And as soon as the weather turns nicer, I'm going to start wearing that one again a lot more. Pam, thank you so much. And it's still doing great. I love that, Melanie. That's awesome. I think that one of the hardest things with synthetic toppers sometimes can be blending it with your bio hair, because, you know, the fibers are different. And so that can be a challenge. I get asked a lot whether I recommend human hair or synthetic toppers. And it's hard to make a recommendation because everybody's so different and their skill level with working with those kinds of things are so different. And, you know, the styles that you wear. Do you style it, Melanie? Do you curl it or anything? Good question, Christina. Okay, so I am currently not buzzing my hair because I am going to be doing the topper videos, and I was hoping to grow it out enough to make a topper pass. I don't know that that's going to be possible, but I also am going to start doing some more fiber content, you know, the hair fibers that you put on to hide your scalp, because I get a lot of questions from women not ready to wear wigs yet or even ready to wear toppers. I want to make sure I've got other content out there for women with hair loss who feel hopeless and lost. So I'm going to start doing some fiber content for a while just to get a little bit more, because I've only got 3 fiber videos out there. And Sure Thick, I'm going to partner with Sure Thick to get some information out. And I love the company. So I had a Zoom call with Sure Thick, and they make hair fibers a month ago or so, and I learned their story. And what I really love about them is that they make their products here in the United States and then they package them in Canada, because they're actually a Canadian company. And a lot of these hair fibers are made in China or in other places. And just because it's made in China doesn't mean that it's bad, because most wigs come from China somehow. But the problem is you just don't know. You don't know what their practices are. And so I'm really thrilled to be working with a company that's, you know, based in either the US or Canada, kind of both. And then I can put some content out there. So I will be buzzing my hair again, just not right now. I miss it and it's driving me crazy. So something I do want to mention, I get a question a lot about itching under wigs and what to do about it. And I really do think that having hair underneath your wig can contribute to itching. And so if you struggle with itching under your wigs and you've ever thought about buzzing your hair, I have a lot of videos on buzzing. I have a series of it, and I have talked about it a lot and the pros and cons. And so if you've not seen those videos, I would love to send you a link. So send me an email or a message. Again, my email is heywigsister@gmail.com. And I can send you a link to my buzzing series. I do think buzzing your hair makes wigs way more comfortable. It's not practical for everybody and it won't work for everybody. But for those who maybe it might, it could be a lifesaver. I am dealing with more itching under my wigs than I did. I never had itching when I had my head buzzed. So I think it can be a problem. All right, Steph, you asked about Envy Light Blonde. What color would be similar in John Renault? I don't know that one off the top of my head, but I can see if I can figure that out for you. I don't know that I've seen Gabby. Nanette, you know what? It sort of is the best thing when people don't say anything. It's sort of like they don't notice. And I think, you know, sometimes we want people to compliment our hair, but sometimes we don't want anybody to notice. So I don't think that's a bad thing. Pam, did you really? All right. Did it turn out? Plucking the part and trimming some bangs. I hope it turned out great. Yep, Nanette, that is the problem with toppers is you can get something called traction alopecia, and it actually can create hair loss where those clips are. One thing people will sometimes do is sew extra clips into their topper, and then they'll alternate which clips they use. Another thing, there is a Milano makes a top grip, a wig grip, and I just ordered two from Milano. They have a couple of different sizes. So I will be reviewing their top grips, both for maybe hopefully to help with toppers, but also because I've had a wig sister ask me to review it because she has a big head, large head measurements, and she struggles with full wig grips under her wigs because it makes them too tight. But she found that the Milano top grip actually works. So I'm going to test it out and I will give you guys a review on that. I think I saw someone ask, and now I'm losing it again, you guys, sorry. Somebody asked me about wig grips. I'm just scrolling up. I know I saw a question about wig grips. I don't know where it is. I think somebody asked the question. If you asked the question about wig grips, ask it again. Yep, Pam, toppers work for some people, but not for everybody. Olivia, so what do you mean by worth the money? That's a hard question for me to answer because what's worth the money for one person isn't necessarily worth the money for another. So I'd like to know a little bit more about what you're looking for. I think Ocean is beautiful. I loved Ocean a few years ago when I was wearing it, but sometimes it was too much for me. There's quite a bit of permatease up here. It's got like a deep lace front. So it looks natural, but there's a lot of permatease up here. And that can sometimes feel like a lot. And I found it hot in the summer. It was just too full and too much permatease for me in the summer. But I run super hot. I mean, you guys can see my face is really red right now. I'm hot right now. I'm just hot all the time. So Ocean can be challenging because it's quite a bit of hair. You can, so Fiona, lace front toppers, you can blend them with your bio hair, but it can be challenging because the way that lace sits, I don't know if I can even demonstrate it, but so there's lace right here. So if I were to pull this lace back and pull my bio hair out, that lace would actually sort of press down on my hair and it wouldn't blend very well. I know some people do, but I would say that if you have enough hair to blend in the very front, consider either not getting a lace front or cut that lace back so that you don't have it, like back almost all the way, so that you don't have it pressing down on your hair and making so that you can't blend it. I have an example. So I like, because I do have some bio hair now, I like to pull out my bio hair on the sides. I don't have a ton of it, but see, that's my bio hair right there. And then I like to blend it in with the wig. Well, some of these new wigs coming out have extended lace fronts that go all the way down to the ears. I have filmed a video this week. It'll be out, I think it might be my Tip Tuesday for next week. I can't quite remember. But I took my John Renault Carey Light that I just reviewed that has the extended lace front all the way down to the ear. This will also work with any wig with an extended lace front. The Envy wigs that just came out, Envy Paula, Envy Lisa, Envy Billy. I've reviewed them all. The lace, again, is extended. And if you've got bio hair, that is a problem. It covers your bio hair if you've got a low hairline, and it's very obvious. And I do talk about that in my reviews. I took my Carey and I cut that lace all the way back in a video, and I will put that out next week so that you can see it. So that's what I mean. If you want to blend your hair, you might need to cut that lace in order so that it doesn't press over your hair and make it look funny. I hope that helped you, Fiona. Yep, Debbie, that's exactly what I was saying. Colleen, I just ordered the Milano topper grip. it's called the top grip, I think. I just ordered 2 of them because they have 2 different sizes. So I ordered 2 different, or they might have 3 different sizes. I think I ordered 2 of the sizes. So I will get those hopefully in the next week or so, and then I'll start playing with them and I'll do a video. Someone recommended it to me because she found that it was easier. She has a large head measurements, and she found that it was less bulky underneath her wigs. Yeah, permatease can be hard, Diana, when you've had no hair or very little hair for a long time. Permatease is really tough. You can get used to it, and I do think it's necessary in some styles. For example, curly styles without permatease, they don't look very good. You do need some, but it's just, when it's really big and bulky up there, it can be hard. Yes, the lace wigs are great for people with no hair. The extended lace can really be, so what's a benefit of the extended lace is when you go and take your hair and you want to pull it back, the lace on the sides there acts just like the lace in the front, where it looks like the hair is growing out of your scalp. Sometimes though, with those extended lace, you do need to adhere the lace with some sort of adhesive in order for it to lay flat when you pull the hair up. So what I've noticed on those wigs is if I go to pull the hair up, the lace lifts with the hair because there's a little bit of hair sewn into that lace. So you need to, if you're going to do an updo with an extended lace, you do need to adhere it. Not always, but some of the time, a lot of the time in my own experience. No, Christina, the top grip is like, I'll just take my wig off and show you guys. I don't have it, but I'll demonstrate it. So this is the hair grip, wig grip. It's coming off. My favorite wig grip as of right now is this one from the hair grip. I love it. I wear it all the time. I didn't used to wear wig grips at all until I discovered this one. And now I never adhere my wigs and I just wear this wig grip. I love it. But the top grip is like just this much of it. They have a couple of different sizes. I think they have a really small one and then one that's a little bit bigger. And then it's just got like a string that goes behind your head. So you get the benefit of a grip up here, but you don't get all of this bulk. Now, for some people, this having the grip back here too holds the wig on the back of your head as well. So, it's not going to be perfect for everyone, but for some people that's going to work so well, and it's going to eliminate some of this bulkiness, which can be a challenge for a lot of people. So I'll test it out and I'll let you guys know. The one you're talking about is the grip cap, which is a full cap and it has a wig grip built into it. So for someone who has a lot of bio hair that they need to control underneath their wigs, sometimes a full cap can be helpful, but it can also be very, very bulky and extra hot because now you're adding one more layer on. See if I can put this on without seeing myself. The chat is taking up my whole entire screen, so I can't even see myself. All right, let's see. Leanne, I have one from that line. I just took it out of the box yesterday. What is the name of it? I don't remember what it's called, but I have one of the wigs from the Prime Power line. So I will be reviewing that. I'm really curious to see how they compare to the Envy Hair wigs because it's a blend as well. So we'll see. If you guys follow Marlene from Wig Studio One at all, I know she just recently posted something with that wig on Facebook. Taste? I think that's it. Maybe it's called Taste. I think that's the one I have. Of course, now the chat goes away, so I can't see it. Yes, you can use human hair products. You should use human hair products on human hair wigs. I recommend you use the high quality, no sulfate, no paraben, extra moisturizing type. Because let's think about these human hair wigs are not getting oil from our scalp. So they are going to dry out faster because they're not being moisturized. So you do need to make sure you're moisturizing your human hair wigs regularly, using a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner and putting some sort of oil on your hair regularly to keep the fibers moist. And they're moist. That's not, I'm sorry for those of you who hate that word. Soft and supple, I don't know. But I don't have a favorite yet. That's the one thing, I've only been really wearing human hair for about a year and a half, but really regularly for the past year. But I also wear synthetics. So I don't wear my human hair super a lot. And so I will eventually maybe have some favorites. But if you need some recommendations, I can tell you the few that I've tried. I just don't know if they're the best. Yep, Nanette, I know what you're saying. How regularly? Some people say you should put oil on your wigs every few days if you wear them every day or if you keep them out. Some people say once a week. I think it really just depends. Some of it depends on how you wear your wig and what conditions you're wearing them in. For example, here in Minnesota, it's super, super dry in the winter. And so here's my story, if you will indulge me. So when I first started wearing wigs, I first started wearing wigs in September of 2018. And so that first winter, I didn't know very much. I was still learning, and I kept all my wigs out on wig heads. And I noticed toward the end of the winter, my wigs were feeling super, super dry, even ones that I never wore, and I couldn't figure it out. The next winter, I kept most of my wigs in a box. Only the ones that I was wearing regularly did I keep out, and I didn't have that problem anymore. So I believe that when the wigs are out in the very dry air, if you have dry air in the winter, it dries them out a little bit, and it's better to keep them protected inside a box. So for human hair, think about what is the air like where you are? What kind of conditions are you in? And so if it's a really humid environment, maybe you don't need to put oil on your hair quite as much. So it's hard to say, but some people say like every week or every few days. I'm not good about that. I probably put oil on my wigs once every few weeks. And some of them I rarely ever do because I don't wear them. Oh my gosh, Leanne, thank you so much for your support. So if too much hair is showing under the ear tabs, like I'm sure you're talking about right here, it does mean that the wig is a little small on you. It doesn't necessarily mean it's too small. I think whether a wig is too small is very subjective. And so what I do find is there are some wigs that fit my circumference really, really well and they're comfortable on, but I don't get very good coverage on the sides here. And it's because the over the top of my head measurement is smaller than or larger than that wig was designed for. Belle Madame is a brand. It's a synthetic brand. That is a great example of that. So Belle Madame is a brand that is sold over in the UK. You really can't get it here in the United States, but I buy mine from Continental Wigs in the UK. They're wonderful. They're a small family-owned business. I have reviewed for them in the past. It's been a long time, but I love Belle Madame wigs. And they are comfortable on me, but they fit me small and I get terrible coverage on the sides. So that's how you would know if a wig is a little bit small. That's the other reason why it's not just your circumference that is an important measurement. A lot of people will reach out to me and say, I have a 22.5-inch circumference. Will this wig fit me? I can't say because what also matters is this to here. So you're over the top from your hairline to your nape, and then your ear over the top to your ear. Those matter as well. And if you don't know all of your measurements, then you can't know for sure if a wig will fit you. It may fit your circumference, but it's too small over the top. And I do have a video where I talk about measuring your head and why that's important. Hi, Jan. This is actually, I don't do them often. I should do them more. I have only done 2 others ever, and I haven't done one in well over a year, maybe even a year and a half. But if this is helpful and you guys, I mean, so many of you showed up today. I'm so grateful. Maybe I'll do this once a month if that's something that people will find value in. And if I can plan it, then people can give me questions ahead of time. And if there's things people want me to demonstrate, I can have that ready. I would love to do that. Olivia, and that's one of the things that's so hard. We're all built so differently. And some of us I had a friend over yesterday, a local friend. She came over to try on some wigs. I haven't seen her in a long time. She's a wig sister. I met her because of wigs. But she's local here, and her hairline right here, I thought I had a low hairline right here, but her hairline is really low. A lot of wigs did not cover her hairline. So that can be a challenge. Kelly, I think really the only way to know for sure is if you can find a review and if that reviewer talked about how it fit them, and then you can look at their measurements and compare yours to theirs. I really think that's the only way to know for sure if a wig is going to fit you, because there's, most wigs are considered average, but they all run differently. And so, and I do have a blog post where I talk about this, and I have a list in that post that breaks down the major name brands and says, do they run average, average small, or average large? For example, Beltress and Estetica are known to run more average large. They do run bigger. And I find that to be true on me. I get really good coverage on Beltress and I have to cinch them in. I have to cinch Estetica wigs in. And every now and then I get a wig from one of those guys that's running small. So I think it's tough. I think, even if you get experience with a certain brand, there's variation. Noriko is, in my opinion, notorious for being inconsistent with size. I have had probably 4 Jacksons in the past from Noriko. One of them I couldn't even wear. They were all the same average size. One of them fit me perfectly, and the other 2, one of them was really big. I mean, it was just all over the board. So it's super frustrating. Debbie, this will be recorded, but if you want to ask your question again, I'm happy to answer. Yep, Jackie, that is exactly my friend who is just here. She has petite over the top of her head and a 22.5 circumference. And I have a 22-inch circumference, but I'm child size, actually, if you look at the charts, over the top of my head. And I don't even know how much it's so weird because Ellen Villa is known for running average petite. That's what everybody says. But all the Ellen Villa wigs of mine that she tried on yesterday fit her great. And she has a 22-inch circumference. So go figure. I think size matters, but maybe shape as well matters. Tressallure fits, in my opinion, very true to average. I think that they, they fit me really well. I get really good coverage with them. I do get a little bit of extra cap in the top, which is what tells me it's more average because I'm so petite. I usually do get extra room up here. And I can cinch Tressallure in just a little bit and still wear it comfortably. Colleen, are you asking or are you answering someone's question? I bet you're answering because you know how shampoo works with human hair wigs. Oh yeah, you're helping with that other question I was answering, I bet. Yep, Tony of Beverly. I think Tony of Beverly runs really true to average, maybe just slightly bigger than average sometimes. I didn't know. Oh, Paula Young. Does Paula Young carry multiple sizes in dance? So Malvolio's mom, some people, to be honest with you, and I have found this a few times, some people's head measurements really fall outside the range of ready to wear wigs. That can be on the large side or the small side. And unfortunately, and I'm sorry to say this, but if that is you, one of the only options you really have is custom. And I don't know anybody who does custom synthetics, only human hair. Now, that said, one thing you could try, so I've done some reviews for a company called Ebony Line. It primarily markets to women of color, but they do have wigs that work for Caucasian women as well. I've reviewed some that have the clear lace. And the reason why that matters is because if they're marketed toward women of color, sometimes the lace is tinted. It's more of a beige or a brown, and it won't blend with, if you have light skin, it won't blend with your skin very well. And sometimes those styles are made more for women of color and how they wear their hair. Like they would maybe have a lot of baby hairs cut in because of, the style that they wear. They kind of take their baby hairs and, I don't know, put gel and put them down on their forehead. And so, but they do carry other kinds. And I have noticed those are also known as, oh my gosh, my brain is leaving me. Beauty supply store wigs is another name for the wigs. The companies that sell those online are like ebonyline.com, samsbeauty.com. Those are two that I've bought from. Those can tend to run a little big sometimes. So that might be something to try to see if it'll fit you. But otherwise, your option is custom. And I just don't know synthetic custom makers, only human hair. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I love you. Nanette, I'm wearing Deb's Enchanted wig today. This is a wavy piece that she sold. I bought it from her 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago during her sale. And so it's a wavy piece. I don't remember the number of it, but she doesn't carry stock pieces anyway. And it's in the same color as one of the wigs that I reviewed in my video. I love this color from her line. She carries this color all the time and I love it. I'm forgetting the name of it right now though. I'm just reading comments right now. Hi, Catherine. Oh my gosh, thank you for coming. It's so good to see you. You were able to find a custom synthetic and you had to pay $2,000 for it? How long did that last? I hope it was way better quality than the synthetics that we currently buy. Suzanne, yeah, I'll link my Amazon store in the description once I'm able to post this video. So the wig grip I recommend that you buy is not from Amazon. I recommend that you go to thehairgrip.com. Thehairgrip.com. That's the wig grip I'm wearing. It is my favorite wig grip of all time. And if you use the code Denise20, all caps, you will get 20% off. I don't get a kickback from her. She was just really nice to give me a code that I can share. Her name is Esty. It's a small business. She's wonderful, and I love her wig grips. They're my all-time favorite. Yes, please send me a pic, Nanette. I would love to see it. Oh, do they? I didn't know that. So Tony Bratton sells on QVC plus size. That's good to know. I didn't know that. I'm just scrolling back up through to see if I missed any questions. Olivia, Noriko wigs. So Jay said it, Noriko does run small. Noriko, I sort of have a love-hate with Noriko. Their fibers are amazing. They are so good, and they are workhorse fibers. They're thicker fibers. I think they're very natural looking, and they last a really long time. They're a workhorse wig, truthfully. And I really think they're beautiful, but they tend to have a lot of permatease. Noriko likes permatease. And so if you're overwhelmed by wigs a lot, I don't know if Noriko is the right one for you. They also carry a lot of basic cap wigs, thus the permatease. And you know, they're not as, with their lace fronts and everything, they're not as realistic looking as Raquel Welch, Gabor, Ellen Villa. They make great lace fronts typically, Raquel Welch especially. Noriko, Renee of Paris, those are made by the same company called Adirans. And I just think they're more fashion wigs versus everyday wigs. But that said, their fibers last so long and people love Noriko, some of their wigs. It's just you have to be okay with poof and permatease. Janet, right now I'm using an Olaplex oil because someone recommended it and so I just bought it. I don't know if that's the best option, to be honest with you. It's just what someone told me to buy and that's what I bought and it lasts so long. I just haven't had to replace it. But when it comes time for me to replace it, I'll do a little bit more research to find what other people are recommending for oil. Yeah, I know what you mean, Sassy Pants. Good night, Alicia. Thanks for coming. I thought this was gonna be 30 minutes. I'm good with being here if you guys want to still chat, but I did not expect as this great of a turnout. I'm so grateful to you guys. I'm gonna be flying high when I go to bed tonight. This was so awesome. Yes, I do find Olaplex oil to be very light. I mean, so far I like it. Yeah, so with Noriko and all the permatease and the volume, if I'm gonna wear a Noriko wig, I love wearing them with headbands. I just think it tames that permatease, and if it's a basic cap, you might sometimes see visible permatease. Headbands make all the difference. I'm good. If you're good, I'm good. When I start seeing people say goodbye and drop off, maybe that's my cue. Tony, any health update? Well, so I have been trying to eat carnivore for the past 2-3 weeks. I'm not perfect on it, but I've been really limiting how many carbs I'm eating because the research that I've done has said that a lot of people have healed their joint issues using the carnivore diet. So I've been trying it and I've lost 10 more pounds. I'm down 42 pounds now since I first started losing weight 2 years ago. And I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I still have really bad joint pain when I wake up in the morning. I'm super stiff, but I think I am starting to feel better. I feel like my energy is increased and I'm not as in as much pain. The one thing though that I've been starting to do, and maybe you guys have a recommendation for me. So I had gestational diabetes with 2 of my 3 pregnancies, and I was on insulin for one of them, my youngest. And so I've been told that I'm at risk for type 2 diabetes. Your risk increases when you've had gestational diabetes. And I was seeing an endocrinologist for a long time, and once a year he would check my A1C to see kind of my average blood sugar over the year, and it was always normal. Well, I've been using Paloma Health for my thyroid now. I just haven't found a doctor where we moved to, and it's been working for me, so I've just been doing that. But with that, I don't get my A1C checked anymore, and I've had some weird symptoms, so I thought I would get a glucose meter and start checking my blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, and it's high. Like this morning, it was like 125 fasting. That is pre-diabetic, almost considered type 2 diabetes. I don't know if I trust the glucose monitor because it is oh, Catherine, you are awesome. Thank you so much. I love you. I don't know if I trust the glucose monitor because it was an Amazon one and it might not be accurate. So I'm thinking about using an online company to get my A1C checked. I'm just a real fan of these online companies because sometimes it's impossible to get in to see doctors nowadays. And so I want to learn some things. So if you guys have ever tried an online company to get your A1C checked or diabetes markers, please let me know because there's a couple of them out there that do it. I just haven't chosen which one I'm going to use, but I'm a little concerned. But you know, I've checked my blood sugar after I've eaten and it's not high then. It's only my fasting. So I don't know what that means. I just saw someone make a comment. Yeah, I know this way of eating will really help with that. That's what I'm hoping for. How can I cinch in? Yeah. So an option that you could have is to take a stitch and sew the adjuster where you want it to be. It's one thing that I do with the pull adjusters or the bra strap adjusters. You have to sew them so that they stay. So that's something you can do too. Pam, I'd love to know what you use. I had a couple blood sugar meters from when I was pregnant, but I mean, my youngest is 16, so they're old. And I thought about just trying to get strips for them, but I don't know. I mean, the one I got on Amazon was really cheap. There were good reviews and there were bad reviews. I don't know if it's good. I mean, isn't that true of everything though? I'm so happy to hear that, crazy mom. I mean, honestly, I've had some people send me messages because I've posted on Facebook that I was going to try carnivore, and I've had some people send me messages. They're very concerned that I'm going to ruin my health by eating that way, but I've tried plant-based. I mean, I've tried lots of things, so I might as well try this. Leanne, I would love to hear what you think of it. I really would. So I've been trying to sell. I had you're getting Lindsay. Yep, I have Lindsay, but I've never worn her. She's packed away in a box. I need to pull that one out. But so I had two Zoes and I've been trying to sell one of them and it hasn't sold. And I've decided I'm going to practice curling with that one. So hopefully I can bring you guys some videos showing how to style those envy hair because I don't want to curl my Zoe. I love my Zoe straight and I don't want to do anything to ruin that. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Esophageal Musings 50. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys have just made my night. Ken Berry is awesome. Actually, my son, so my oldest son is 23. He lives in Iowa now. He went to Drake down in Des Moines, and then he found a job down there and he stayed, breaking this mama's heart. Not really. I'm so happy for him. And he's turned into a great young man, but he's had a lot of stomach issues all his life. And he started eating OMAD 6 months ago. So 1 meal a day, that's what OMAD stands for. He basically eats dinner and that's all he eats. And he says he feels so good. He has no problem during the day. But I told him to think about trying to do carnivore because he's not, I don't think he's getting enough fat, eating that way. So I'll be interested to see if he tries it. Leanne, message me. I don't have to practice with that one. And you could also get it. And if you don't love it, you can send it back to me. I don't care. Jay, I just don't think I'm ready to go there yet. One thing I actually have been doing every morning, so I've been making homemade bone broth for the past month, every week. And I've actually got my husband drinking a cup of it every morning. So for the past 2 weeks, I always used to have a cup of coffee in the morning, and I've been reading things about your adrenals and things. So I've actually started to drink a cup of bone broth first thing every morning. And for those of you who don't know what bone broth is, it's essentially stock. I use chicken bones and beef bones. And so I make a mixture of chicken and beef bones. I think they taste the best. I make them in my Instant Pot. It is so awesome. And it always gels for me when I do it in the Instant Pot. And I get my bones actually from a company called Seven Sons. I don't know if it's Seven Sons something. They're online and they're what do you call them? They're a farm that sells beef and meat, and they're wonderful. And I get my soup bones from them. And so every morning I'm having a cup of bone broth, and I've been drinking this, you guys, it might be late. My brain is not working. I just reviewed the product too on my website. It's a little green thing. It's got nootropics in it. And anyway, I've been doing that and the bone broth, and I do still have a cup of coffee later. And I do think that's helping me a lot. So I do think that's another thing that's contributing to me feeling better. Thank you so much, Catherine. And thanks for being a wonderful part of our Whole 30 group. Yeah, I can't believe I got my husband to start drinking bone broth. I mean, that was a miracle. And he's been feeling amazing. He's been eating less at lunch now. He's not as hungry during the day. So, and I leave the fat. So I take the bone broth, and I might not have put a video out here on YouTube. I did it on Instagram. I got these awesome little silicone containers, and I freeze it in them, and they freeze them like little bricks. And then I can just stick it right in a coffee cup, frozen, and microwave it. And he's not as hungry during the day. It's just amazing. And I do think keeping the fat, so when you make bone broth and the fat rises to the top and then turns hard, some people take that fat off. I don't, because we're drinking it for nourishment. So we leave it on. And I do think that makes a difference in hunger. I really do. I'm glad to hear that, Karen. Do you know which size you got? Thank you, Pam. Jackie, I agree. And I used to make bone broth every now and then years ago, and I don't know why I got away from it. Magic mind. That is exactly it, Melanie. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a cup of bone broth and a little thing of Magic Mind. And I don't miss I had to have coffee first thing in the morning, and I don't need that first thing anymore. I do like coffee, and I use heavy cream in my coffee. And so I do still have a cup, but late, like maybe 10 o'clock in the morning or something. And I don't need it for the energy. I just like it. It's a drink I enjoy. Nanette, that's the other thing I wanted to get tested was my triglycerides. So my triglycerides are historically very high. My LDL is usually fine. My HDL is usually fine, but it's my triglycerides that have been an issue. So I was thinking of, there's a company I found that would do both the A1C and the triglyceride test. Good night, Christina. Thank you so much for coming. All right, guys, I'm just looking up through the chat because sometimes when I'm talking, I miss it. So I filmed a video actually showing how I make bone broth, and it's still sitting in my phone. I haven't edited it or done anything with it. If anybody would find it valuable, I'd be happy to put it together and post it. There's lots of videos on YouTube though showing how to make bone broth. I just love making mine in my Instant Pot. It really has changed everything for me. Yep. I think the Olaplex oil, I mean, it's so, people say it's expensive, but it lasts so long. Yeah, Nanette, I've wondered about, which would be better, keto or carnivore? Okay, Karen, thank you for answering that question because I bought two of them and I don't remember what the two sizes were that I got. They're not here yet. If so, guys, I may have missed a few questions. If I did, please ask them again. All right, Melanie, I will. Francis, when I do that, I will share it. I haven't made a decision yet. I found a couple of them and I just wanted to do some research on them. So as soon as I do, I will definitely share it. Okay, that's good to know, Sherry. Nanette, I think that was my reason for having high triglycerides. I ate so many carbs and sugar. It was terrible. That's the one thing I'm really trying to be strict about is sugar. I'm looking at every label. I try not to buy anything that has added sugar in it. I found, the other day there was something I was gonna buy, a beef stick or something, and it had corn syrup in it, so I didn't buy it. Good night, Diane. It was so good to see you. Bye, Vicki. Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, I'll see what I can find for you, Francis. Hi, Steph. Okay, so my favorite bobs. Well, Envy Zoe right now is my favorite bob. It's more of a, it's about shoulder length though, so it's not a traditional bob. If you're talking sort of a traditional bob, Lady Latte by Belle Tress and Bellissima by Belle Tress. I love those bobs. And I also really do like Christie by John Renault, but that is a fully hand-tied cap. It's pretty expensive. So is Zoe. Zoe's way more expensive. But Belle Tress makes some great bobs. I've tried Cafe Chic. A lot of people love that one by Belle Tress. It's a little bit too short and choppy for me. One thing with the Belle Tress bobs, Belle Tress doesn't really use a lot of permatease, so they're fairly flat. So if you're looking for something with a little bit of volume, Belle Tress doesn't really have that. I actually have a video where I show you how to take a hot comb on Bellissima. I reviewed it in the color Sangria, and I show you how to fix the part line and get a little lift in the front with a hot comb. So those are some of my favorite bobs. Thank you so much, Jackie. Oh, thank you, Liz. I'll answer that question. Thanks for coming, Leanne. So Carol asked about keeping cool in wigs during the summer. Angela, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh, you just blew me away. Thank you. Okay, so wigs can be hot. There is no two ways about that. I have 2 videos where I talk about wigs, how to maybe combat being hot in a wig. If you want to email me, I will give you links to those videos. Just send me an email, heywigsister@gmail.com. Basically, look for short wigs. And if you aren't comfortable wearing short wigs, try to work your way up to as short as you can go. If you can get the hair off your neck, that will make a huge difference. If you don't like short wigs, get longer wigs and wear them in updos. One of my favorite things to do with a longer wig is to take it and I just do a simple twist in the back. I stick a claw clip in. I love that with wigs, and it just made me cooler right now because it got all the hair off my neck. So either try to go for short wigs or wear wigs in an updo. Another thing to watch for with wigs, if you're hot in them, is permatease. Don't try to limit the amount of permatease in a wig in the summer if you run hot. The reason for that is permatease is insulation. Basically, it's another layer between you and the world, and it acts more like a hat than wigs without permatease. And so low permatease, short or updos make a really big difference. Yep, I also, you know what, the cool cap, yeah, cool cap and basic cap are the same thing. To be honest with you, Belinda, I really don't find them to be that much cooler than wigs with monofilament or lace fronts. I really don't. They build them that way, but I don't know that there's that big of a difference. I think what makes more of a difference is permatease, and those basic cap wigs tend to have more permatease. So it's kind of a catch-22. Marcella, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, really? Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank you for sharing that. Another thing you could try, there is a product called Headline It. I do have a review from like 2 or 2.5 years ago. It's called Headline It. It's made, Elaine, thank you so much. It's made to be worn under, it was actually created to be worn under like hard hats and construction workers and things like that. But you can also wear it under wigs, and it's got like a cooling material, and it's almost like those cooling cloths that you can buy, and it does help some. My problem with Headline It, I reviewed it, I liked it, it helped. My problem with it is that I change my wigs every day. I don't wear the same wig every day. It's not easy to take it out of one wig and stick it into another. It loses its stickiness. So you'd almost have to have multiples of them. So if you want me to send you a link to the 2 videos I did on being hot in wigs, send me an email and I'll send it to you. Or message me if we're friends on Facebook or Instagram. Is your trend alert iced cappuccino or it's iced? It's iced. No. Trend alert. I don't think it's iced cappuccino. I think it's the other one. I'm questioning myself right now and I can't look it up. I don't think it's iced cappuccino. Just my video isn't that the video I just put out today. Just go look for that video because I can't quite remember. Angela, thank you. I know, I'm just blown away. I'm gonna cry. This is crazy. Okay, I run so hot all the time. I don't know how any summer wig wearing is going. You know what, Jackie? I feel it. I do. I run so hot all the time. What I do is literally put my wigs in updos. I have a headband wig that I wear a lot. For whatever reason, wearing a wig with a headband is cooler to me than without. I can't explain it. It doesn't make any sense, but it does help me. Oh my gosh, did it really? Oh, that's terrible. I will go take a look at it and go fix it. Oh, I'm sorry. That's terrible. I'm just scrolling up because I know I missed a few there. A whole bunch of comments came through all at once when I was talking. What was the name of the Belle Tress Bob? I talked about 2 of them. One was Lady Latte and one was Bellissima. I have a review of both of those. Multiple reviews, actually, both of those in different colors. Bellissima is shorter than Lady Latte. Oh, the donations. So there's a way on here that you can do. So maybe somebody else can tell you because I can't see it. But there's a way you can like do a super chat or a donation right from like, I don't know if you can see it on a mobile device or on a computer, but people can like give a thanks with a little bit of money. And I appreciate it, you guys. I've been making some purchases to test some things, like those wig grips I just bought. I'm probably not going to wear them because I love my hair grip, but I bought them so I could try them and I could share them with you guys. So I do make purchases for simply just to review them. Plus, I do all those consultations and some people donate and some people don't, and that is totally all right. Thank you for helping out, you guys. Deborah, you are spot on. That is what the best thing you can do is just watch lots of videos. You'll start to get to know the reviewers who do a lot of reviews, and you'll start to get to know who gives good information and who doesn't. I mean, not everybody shares all the details. You guys will notice my reviews are longer. I'm trying super, super hard not to go past 15 minutes on my review because I know that's a lot of time for people to spend. But I educate on my reviews. I always talk about things that I don't see a lot of other reviewers talk about. And I always try to keep my new wig wearer in mind because if you're experienced, you can skip. I always put timestamps in my videos so you can skip ahead. If you're just there to see color, go into the description box of the video and I have timestamped everything. I've timestamped where I talk about fit. I've timestamped where I talk about permatease and density. I've timestamped where I talk about color inside and color outside. So you can skip ahead. But I do over explain for my new wig wearing sisters who need all of that extra information. I figure people can just take what they want and leave the rest. I'd rather over explain than under explain. Pam, you and me both. Oh, thank you, Elaine. You guys, you're going to make me cry. I'm not even kidding. Oh, Steph, thank you. You guys are so helpful. I really appreciate that. I'm just scrolling back up. It's like sometimes there's no comments and then 10 come through and my phone goes crazy. Okay. I don't know, Chris, what I did wrong, but I will go and I will fix it in the title. And if you want me to email you the correct color, email me. Or if we're friends on Facebook or Instagram, message me. I promise I will get you the right information. I'm so sorry if I typed it wrong. I feel terrible. I can't do anything right this second, but I will go fix it. I'm actually going to make myself a note. So I don't forget. My 51-year-old brain doesn't always remember everything. I'm just scrolling back up. You guys are amazing. I can't believe you're all sitting on here with me still. This is so fun. All right, I think I got all of them. But if I missed a question, Carol, how do you know how much permatease is in a wig? You have to rely on a reviewer. The manufacturers do not share that information. It is not included in the description on the websites where you purchase wigs. The only way you will know is if a reviewer talks about it. That's it, unfortunately. And also, please keep in mind, you guys, there are many things that are subjective. If I say a wig has a lot of permatease, that's an objective opinion. There's no quantifier that tells you what a lot is and what a little is. We're all very different. So what I try to do is I try to explain poof and pillowiness. And if it gives it a lot of volume, I try to give you visual descriptors because you also can't see poof in videos very well. There have been plenty of wigs that I've reviewed that I thought were super poofy, lots of permatease. And I got comment after comment saying, well, that doesn't look poofy. You just can't see poof in videos. You really do have to rely on the person and whether or not they're explaining it very well. And, you know, I've gotten better at it over the years. And, you know, I wasn't great maybe in the beginning. And so I'm not faulting anybody. And, you know, some reviewers, they try to be fast. They just want to keep it under a certain amount of time. And I understand it. One of the things that YouTube judges a channel on is watch time. And if people are clicking off your video early, it's bad for your channel. YouTube will go, oh, people must not like this person. We're not going to recommend their videos very much. So there is a double-edged sword to making long videos. Your watch time will be low compared to the length of your video, and it could actually hurt your channel. It probably hurts my channel because I know my watch time is low compared to how long my videos are. But I'm not going to change. I want to give people information. We're all adults. We can skip ahead if we don't want to listen to stuff we don't care about. That's why I timestamp, though, to make it easy for people. De facto, that is absolutely true. You do start to learn. I mean, here's the thing, you guys. I know we don't all have unlimited funds. None of us, I don't know if any of us have unlimited funds, but some of us are on very, very tight budgets. And so we can't afford to make bad purchases. But I really want to encourage you to think about what constitutes a bad purchase. If you learn something from that purchase, I don't think it's a bad purchase. Here's my advice to you guys. If you really can't afford restocking fees or even expensive return shipping, I encourage you to order from wigs.com. I'm a huge fan of name brand wigs. Obviously, I review for them a lot, but they're here in Minnesota. They're a faith-based company. I really like them. But they have restocking fees, and that isn't possible for everybody to handle. They have them because they're a small business and they can't absorb the cost of returns. Wigs.com doesn't have restocking fees, and I think they have just a flat rate for shipping, and you can print a label at their site. Their shipping used to be $9.99. It may have gone up. I haven't looked recently, but here's what I think. If it's $10, you just spent $10 on education. You are investing in yourself to educate yourself on wigs. You can't maybe do that in an unlimited amount, but think about whether or not you can find a way to absorb a little bit into your budget to help you learn. You can watch a million videos and nothing will substitute with trying wigs. There's just nothing that will teach you more than trying wigs. So I just want you to think about that. De facto, I never returned them either. I spent like $10,000 in my first few years. I'm embarrassed to say it. We are not rich. We are not rich, you guys. And God bless my husband. He just looked the other way. Because I was desperate and I was, I lost my mind when I first discovered wigs. It was horrible what I was living with. And so many of them didn't work out for me, but I didn't return them because I don't know why I didn't return them. I just didn't. And I call that the time I got my master's degree in wigs. You know what? I invested in my education and now look where I am. Look at how much I know. I only know this much because I tried a lot. So I know you shouldn't do that. Please don't do that. But you maybe can afford to set aside $50 or $60 for return shipping in order to try a few different wigs and figure out what works for you. You won't know if you like permatease until you get a few wigs with permatease. There's just no way. Thank you so much, Colleen. You are a wonderful friend. I really appreciate you. Yes, Pam. In the beginning, I didn't even have a light. I used my bathroom lighting. I've taught myself YouTube is my best friend. Sassy Pants, I just saw your comment. I would like to identify as a millionaire as well. I just, you know what? I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. I still don't know a lot of things, and I watch other videos and I see how well they do things, and I think, I don't know how to do that. But I do Google a lot, and that's how I've learned. But I don't think it's necessary to edit to have good videos. I'd edit more now because of my health. I can't necessarily stand there for 10 or 15 minutes and just talk straight at the camera anymore. I used to do that. Now I can't. I have to pause. My back will hurt, or I lose my train of thought a little bit. And so I've got to stop and so that I can regather my thoughts. So my videos are actually edited a lot more than they ever used to be. And I know that turns some people off. In the beginning, I got a lot of comments of people saying, I love that you don't edit your videos. I hate when people edit their videos. Well, now I edit my videos, but I think I have a good reason. It's not to be fancy. It's because I just can't, I can't plow through anymore. Maybe someday, maybe the carnivore diet will get me back there. Headache question above. Let me see. Kelly, I get it. But you know, if you found what works though, you don't necessarily have to try all the others. Thank you so much on Texas time. I know I have your name written down somewhere. I'm so sorry it's not coming to me right now. Thank you, Bonnie, for being here. I'm looking for the headache comment. Francis, that is super smart. If you've got a wigs, I always tell people, if you've got wigs in a closet, try to make those work first. And that's why I do a lot of styling videos to help people make wigs work that don't currently work for them. Thank you so much, Jen. Angela, this is a human hair wig by Deborah's Enchanted. I just bought it a couple of weeks ago during her sale. It's a wavy piece. That's why I bought it. I've wanted a wavy wig, a human hair wig for so long. Ordy Sparrow, yes. Selfies are our friend. They will help you see differently than sometimes the mirror. I think it's very helpful. I hope you love it, Sassy Pants. Tell me what you think of Impulsive when you get it. I think it's a super cute style. Steph, I don't know. I actually haven't seen Cream Soda Blonde. So I really don't know. I'm not finding the headache comment. Oh, there it is. Just wondering how to combat headaches while wearing wigs. So I think it kind of depends. So you just said that you were getting headaches from toppers. A topper won't be squeezing your head like a wig will. Sometimes people will get tension headaches from the wig squeezing their head. But a topper, it could just be you've got the clips in too tight and it's pulling on your hair too much. That could be one thing that's happening. Oftentimes with people with wigs, I try to recommend that they try to go up a size if they're getting a headache from their wigs. Sometimes having a wig grip and a wig on is too much. And in that case, what I used to do before I discovered the hair grip is I would adhere the front of my wig with It Stays. It's a roll-on adhesive. It's extremely water soluble. It worked perfectly for me for my first 2 years of wig wearing. And then I didn't have the extra tension from a wig grip, which I have now, but I don't mind it now. So I would say, how are you wearing your wigs? Is that what's causing it? Oh, okay. Now I understand. Yeah, I mean, some people are very sensitive to that. Francis, that's a great point. So one way you can stretch out a wig cap is to get it wet and then put it on a canvas head that has a bigger circumference than your head. So you can buy canvas heads off of Amazon and they have sizes. So I have a 22-inch because I have a 22-inch head. But if you're looking to make a wig cap, stretch it out a little bit, you want it to be bigger than your circumference. So instead of spending money on one that you're going to hardly ever use because it's a bigger circumference, what you could do is you could wrap it with something like, I don't know, saran wrap, or you can maybe put a towel over it to make it bigger and then put your damp wig cap. Don't get it soaking wet because it won't dry. Get it damp and then just put it over that canvas head and let it dry. It will stretch it out. Hey, at least they're getting good use, right? Sassy Pants? I don't think I missed any. If I did, you can ask it again. Yeah, permatease is tricky. It's one of those things you can't thin it out. I mean, I don't know. Gosh. I'm not sure what to say, Marcella. I'd have to think about it. Maybe play with something to see if I could figure it out. One thing you could try is try to lift the hair around it. Try to get lift in the hair around it so that it's not taller than the hair. So one way you can get lift in a wig, it depends on what kind of fibers they are. If they're regular synthetic, you can use steam. And I've done that before. I actually have a video. It's called, if you search Denise Sheets Christie Project, Kristi. It's a very, very old video. I did it really early on, but I bought a used Christie that had been cut more than the person told me it had been cut. And I was having trouble at the top, and I was able to get lift with a steamer, and I show that. Bye, Jackie. I'm so glad you were here. A hot comb will also work, Kelly, if it's a heat friendly. I wouldn't do it on regular synthetic though. Ooh, that's a bummer, Marcella. I don't know. Oh, I think we've been on long enough that we're getting a troll. I don't know how to make them go away though. I can't click on these chats. Oh well. Yeah, that would even work with the Deborah's Enchanted, Nanette, for sure. Angela, I haven't tried it yet, but it's on my list to try. So, yep, Diana, I think I saw someone answer your question about the wig grip lifting your lace. I just push my wig grip back further. That usually helps. I figured out how to get rid of the troll. Hi, Elizabeth. I talked about you. I didn't give your name, but I talked about you. I had said you were over trying on wigs. Yeah, Tony, I think I am going to be wrapping it up here. Oh, so Nanette, do you think you can stretch it out enough? I mean, do you really think maybe it's just a little bit too small? Like, it won't hurt you. It won't hurt. If you try to stretch it out, you won't be any worse off than you are today. Good night, Jay. Thank you, Esophageal Musings. So I don't have those dots on my chat, but I was able to click on it, and I was able to block him that way. All right, guys, this has been so fun. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. You guys are amazing. I am so grateful to all of you for being here. Are there any last minute questions? Please talk about the wig grip again. So Andy, I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean the one I have on? Or when I was talking about the Milano? Oh, that's so much cooler. I'm so hot right now. Or are you talking about the Milano that I talked about earlier? Tell me what you mean. Thank you, Elaine. This one, so this is called the hair grip. I'll show you. It's called the hair grip. And hopefully it's not backwards. I don't know if this turns it around or not. And just go to thehairgrip.com and use the code Denise20. I think Denise is all caps, and you'll save 20%. I don't get a kickback. She's just really great, generous, and allowed me to have a coupon code to share with everybody. This is my favorite wig grip. She has like 2 different kinds. This one has the lace, and it also has silicone, a little bit of silicone strip on the back side, which makes no difference if you have bio hair. If you don't have bio hair, the silicone will help, but it doesn't do anything good or bad with bio hair. But, or she has one that is just all the velvety material, no lace. That one doesn't have silicone. I have both, and I like both. If you have a wig with a parting space, the lace can be helpful so that you don't see the wig grip line through the lace. So it's great. I love her wig grip. She has different sizes as well. Yes, Pamela, I am in Minnesota. You know, I am thinking about having a gathering with all of my Minnesota wig sisters. I mean, if somebody wanted to travel to Minnesota, they sure could, but maybe in the spring here when the weather turns and we don't have snow anymore, I'll have a get together and we can play with wigs and just kind of hang out and meet other wig wearers, because most of us don't know anybody who wears wigs in our real life. So I think that would be super fun. So if you are interested and want to be part of it, you should send me an email, heywigsister@gmail.com, and I'll put your name on the list. I'm gathering a list of locals. Thank you, Liz. I love you, Kelly. Thank you. Good night. Hi, Patty. Thank you. You'll be able to watch this too. I'll make sure it gets posted when we're done here, so you'll be able to watch it back. It's super long though. Most people aren't going to want to watch this whole thing. Thank you, Diana. Andy, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Melanie. All right, you guys, I think we're all wrapping up. I love you. Mwah. I'm so grateful to you guys. Thank you for being here. You made my night. I hope that we can do this again sometime soon, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Love you all. Bye-bye.